Before we get to like what's happening in the future, I have to ask you about that Braveheart scene. Was that the worst day you've ever had on set or the best day?
Can I say both?
Yes.
Yeah, I read that and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. And I'm like, okay, well, let's see. How am I gonna make this work, or how am I gonna make this at least enjoyable and tolerable?
Did
for
you
me?
drink? I would have drank.
So there may have been a flask hidden in my costume somewhere. Yeah, and the bad thing is that the hair was my idea. Not really my idea. It was more of a joke.
Stroke of genius.
It was more of a joke that was taken the wrong way. Because this is ridiculous. Bob was directing the episode before, and that wig was sitting in the hair and makeup trailer just on one of the because there's several wigs for stunt people and miscellaneous wigs. And they were doing a test to see how we wanted to do the warrior makeup or whatever.
Right.
And as I like turned around when I had like the face painted, I turned around and I grabbed the wig and I'm like, check this out. I'm like full on William Wallace.
Terrible mistake.
And of course, instead of getting the ho 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 chuckle chuckle, take that off, you look silly. We got that's it, you gotta go show Bob. And so I went into Bob and I'm like, Bob, huh? And he was like, I love it, do it. And I'm like, are you serious? I was joking.
You shot yourself in the foot.
I did. And then I'm like, why not?
You might as well embrace it if you're gonna have to.
What else haven't we done on this show?
It was fun.
It's the only time in my life I've had longer hair than Jared. But, yeah, it was fun. You will see. I will tease a bit of the blooper reel. So the slow-mo shot of us turning and then running towards
the like freeze frame.
Yes, right. So that was, they dropped back. It was a big long lens shot. They were running it like, I don't know, 100 and something frames per second to get the slow motion. And so I finished the speech and I turned. It was very muddy that day. And I had like, the boots that I had on were just like leather soles. So they were very slippery. One step was all I got. And then plant right in the
really
mud.
Excited for this.
In slow motion.
They're gonna show it at Comic-Con on the big screen.
Yeah, Phil's already like, well, we know what's kicking off our season 8.
You'd think by like
blooper
season
reel.
8 it would be like you'd have control over what goes in the blooper reel and what doesn't.
To be honest, we probably by episode 13, there's probably enough crap for a 2-hour blooper reel. I'm not kidding, and that's like happening.
I believe you.
Oh, yeah, that's what happens after you spend 8 years with a cast and crew. You have too much fun.
In tonight's episode, they reveal the big bunker. I was just looking at the set. It's unbelievable.
It's a feature bunker. I mean, it's like a feature film.
It's
set.
really cool.
Yeah, I think it's the most expensive set we've ever built on the show.
I mean, it's not like you guys have a lot of sets.
Well, there's really no reason to
Yeah.
really invest in big sets on this show.
Because they get torn down in a week.
Yeah, we had Bobby's house, which lasted way longer than it ever should have. That that set was not built to last more than a couple of seasons, and it lasted a lot more than that, obviously. Then we have Rufus's cabin, which has lasted a little while, and it's still standing, and it's, I don't know, it's still in stage 3. But that's really about it.
It's really cool. What is it? I mean, how does that? We're sitting in Dean's bedroom right now. How does like having a home base change the show? I mean, it seems like it's a pretty significant shift.
It is, and I think it's, I mean, look, there's when a show goes, 160, 170 episodes like we have, it's at some point you've got to throw in, slight game changers.
Curveballs.
And I think that this kind of is. I think that not just the physicality of the set and what it brings to having the guys having a bat cave, but
I like that. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, but what it holds, the information that it holds, this whole Men of Letters thing, and the all of the knowledge that has come from this like secret society of supernatural intellect.
Hmm.
And so it's, now we're basically, we have a library of knowledge of this part of the world that wasn't ever available to us. Really, basically all we had was Dad's journal and Bobby's research.
Right.
So now we have this kind of unlimited supply of knowledge that we start researching, but what I think what that does story-wise is that now opens up a whole new floodgate of possibilities for the writers to go.
Does it change how they sort of find cases and approach their?
It hasn't yet. Whether the writers decide to utilize that, I don't know. But what it might do is it might start introducing new methods of dealing with things, or new weapons, or new ideas on how to protect each other. And so it kind of it's like finding a really, really big Dad's journal and with all new information.
But people don't have to worry about like the car getting parked in a garage and never seen again.
No, car's still.
I got so many tweets of people being like, ask if they'll still use their car.
The car, yes. I think that when the car went down
Last season?
during the Sarah years, I think that hit really hard. Not only, I mean, I know it affected me. Like I was complaining. I'm not one to complain about stuff. I'm not like, oh, Sam has more lines than Dean. I could care less.
You don't want more lines. I know you.
Take them. Take my lines.
I don't think Dean needs to be in this scene. I think I should probably go to sleep.
I absolutely think that I should probably get knocked out and turn my face towards the wall, and you'll never see me again. No, but it's the car is back, and the car is something that I was like, listen, guys, come on, seriously. And I think when Jeremy came in, he's like, why is the car not? The car is an essential part of the show, and it will continue to be an essential part of the show.